Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Nothing too unusual today. Just now Bitcoin is moving up a little bit more, currently at around 42.5 again, pretty much where it found resistance yesterday, and we're going to take a look at that on the Bitcoin chart. And overall, while Bitcoin is going up a little bit, we can see a little bit of green in the crypto market as well. I think altcoins still need to catch up a little bit. There's a bit of a mix here between red and green, so a bit of a mixed picture today, which represents the indecision that is currently occurring in the crypto market in terms of prices. Very insecure market at the moment, and insecure environment worldwide at the moment. Start with a bigger picture. Really, everybody who's been with me for a while knows that I have one destination to get to, and two ways primarily how I see the price get there. We are, in my opinion, going to end here in this region between 20 and 29k. It could even go a little bit lower, but I hope that around this area, 19 to 20k, there's a lot of volume, historical volume, and we should find some really good support. Also a little bit above that, we've got the 200-week moving average, which has historically always provided support for Bitcoin. And I think in the last few years, the only time that we briefly, very briefly, broke below the 200-week moving average, that was in March 2020 when COVID started. But overall at the moment, in line with that bearish flag that you can see here on the channel, the white flag and the orange flagpole here, you can see that this is pretty much in line also with my Elliott Wave count, which primarily directs us into this target area between 20 and 29k. Why 29? Well, it is below the wave A, labeled here as A, back in June 21. This was a low, and this was the wave A. Then we made the all-time high a wave B, and we're coming down in wave C. And this would then also conclude the bear market in which we currently are. ABC, that is part of a corrective wave. A wave 2 normally consists of a wave A, a wave B, and a wave C. And I think we are already in that wave C. Within that wave C, we could with a high likelihood now have completed a fourth wave, which means in a wave C, you typically get 5 waves. So we've already seen wave 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 now. And we might already be in that 5th wave. That is what I currently primarily see, that we have already completed that 4th wave and we are in the 5th wave down, which of course doesn't move in a straight line. There will be ups and downs as well. There are always corrections to the upside, and I think we are exactly in one of these corrections to the upside at the moment, and we're going to zoom in a minute. The other way to get into this target area would be, but only if Bitcoin manages to break above that flag here, that we could get into the region all the way up to 65k, in this green target area, but then would reverse there. So I'm very specific here. There is one target area to the downside. And why did I say bear market? Well, because I think we are pretty much already in the bear market. A lot of people ask me, will we get into a bear market when we end down here? No, I think this is exactly the opposite. I think we already are in a bear market. We are in a correction that has been taking now nearly a year, or a year, more than a year now actually. Because we essentially started that correction here in the beginning of April 21, when we started here after the peak of the wave 1, when we moved down in a wave A, we moved up in a wave B, and it is an all-time high, but it is a corrective wave. It is part of a correction, and then we are now in this wave C, where we then will somewhere down here, in my opinion, end the correction of this, what you could call bear market. I think so. I mean, we are even now below the 1-year moving average. And again, historically, when we were below the 1-year moving average, which you can see if I go to the 1 year. So you can see that now in yellow, that is the 1-year moving average. And historically, we've only been there during COVID. I think that was an exception. And then here, before that, that was the bear market, the crypto winter after the 2018 high. And I think that is what could happen here again. I mean, we are below it. And again, as long as we are below it, I don't necessarily believe in rising prices. We've been talking about that now a few times. So let's zoom in to the more imminent price moves here, maybe on the 4-hour chart. What can we see here? We can see that we are moving higher in this target area. As I said before, there is more scope here in that target range of that current wave 4. It depends on which scenario is now playing out here. Yeah, it depends on which scenario is currently playing out here. Because in my view, what we could have here, as I showed you already before, that this here was the first wave 1 down of that last 5th wave, which again has waves within waves. So again, that might get too complicated now. Wave 3, we might now be in that 4th wave, which yesterday saw a very nice reaction to the 38.2% fib level. And that is great, because this makes me more confident that this here really was, or this here really is the 4th wave, because it found such a nice reaction to that 38.2% fib level, which is here at 42.3, 42.4%. Okay, now we are moving to the 50% fib level, and that will be a very, very interesting one. So if we draw the fibs for the retracement of that current wave, then you can see that we are, yeah, exactly. We found yesterday resistance at that 38.2% fib level at 42.4. We've now broken that, and we are, as I said to you in the last few videos, that we can still expect rising prices in this target area. Yeah, even though we saw that strong reaction, we did not necessarily make a new swing low here. We broke it briefly, but we didn't really bring it below it. The previous one here, that was yesterday late. So we have seen a nice, nicely more green candles again to the upside, despite that bearish engulfing candle. They don't need to work out. They often work out. They don't need to work out. So after that, we have now been moving up, and the next resistance I would expect. Let me just see where. No, it would be. I don't know, that did move for some reason here. Let me just try to be a bit more accurate here. So we need to start obviously at the wave 2 up here, and we are going to the low of the wave 3. Now, personally, I think, yeah, we could draw it like that, but I think this here was the wave 3 low, because we have so nicely reacted to the 38.2% fib level, and that what we've seen here in this wave 4. A wave 4 consists of an ABC, that this peak here was the wave A, that this low was the wave B, and basically an undershooting wave. Do you say undershooting? And an undershooting wave B, and this here is a wave C now, and that would complete that 4th wave. And yeah, that could now go here to 43.3, that is the 50% fib level, and we could even go up to the 61.8 at 44.3. That would be the next possible resistance. So for now, as we broke above the previous fib level, I would expect now the 43.3. That is again the 50% fib level. Above that, it is getting less likely that it is still a wave 4, but still possible as long as we stay below 44.3. Showed you also the alternative in the previous video, where we could even go a little bit higher. That would then be a different wave count. That would assume that we have already here, the wave 4 was already in. Don't necessarily believe that. That would assume this was the wave 4, this here was the wave 5, and we now have a larger degree correction. But again, also then, after this one, we would come down. Yeah, so this would just also be, again, in both scenarios, they go the same way. Both expect or both leave space for further upside before the reversal to the downside would be happening. A very, very strong resistance here on this chart would probably be that 1 year moving average here, currently being around 45.7. So at the moment, short uptrend, short-term uptrend, yeah. And however, this is really, really choppy. Generally, yeah, we are really in a choppy phase here, very much indecision in the market, and a very difficult environment at the moment. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I showed you yesterday in the video why this here is so corrective. It is not impulsive at all, and therefore, from the structure, at least how we are doing it at the moment, and as long as we are below the 1 year moving average, we can be very certain that there won't be higher prices. We can start talking about that again if we break above the 1 year moving average, and when we see a first impulse, but we just don't see it. And therefore, primarily, my view is again, continues to be that we are going to end here in this yellow area. Okay, that is my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.